Hey guys, how's it going? Slick here, and today I want to talk to you about fixin' auto rifles. Now I know what you're thinking, that's an awfully arrogant title for such a fat idiot. The fact of the matter is, it wasn't my intention to imply I have the magic bullet, pun intended, to fix balance issues in the Crucible. I just really wanted to make a video about game theory because the topic is really interesting to me. And I thought Fixin' Shit was a good title. It's concise, it's got some pop to it, and you know exactly what the video is about before you even watch it. I know, this is YouTube. My title should be a vague, all-caps hypothetical question for maximum clickbait. This is really embarrassing, guys. I apologize. I'm not used to this whole being an obnoxiously transparent dipshit thing yet. Now that unnecessarily long intro is out of the way, and I've successfully alienated other thin-skinned content makers, let's get to the meat of the video. Unless you're vegan, then let's get to whatever it is you guys eat. Sand? Is that a thing you guys like? The main problem with auto rifles is that they are huge pieces of worthless garbage. Just kidding, guys, but not about auto rifles sucking though. Now on paper, auto rifles look like they are in a good place. When you compare their time to kill with the current meta weapons, they look like they should be competitive, but they are not. Now it's time for a segment I like to call, Wow! A bunch of numbers. The current meta revolves around mid-impact hand cannons, like the Palindrome, and low to mid-impact pulse rifles, like the Clever Dragon and the Hawksaw, respectively. Mid-impact hand cannon time to kill ranges from 0.87 to 1.3 seconds, low-impact pulses from 0.8 to 1.33 seconds, and mid-impact pulses from 0.87 to 1.33 seconds. Now, while auto rifle time to kill does lag behind, it's not by that much. High-impact autos range from 0.93 to 1.2 seconds, mid-impact from 0.9 to 1.2 seconds, and low-impact from 0.87 to 1.07 seconds. Now it seems like auto rifles should be competitive given these time to kill values, but we know in practice that this is not the case, and I think the reason is threefold. First up is the difficulty of achieving their optimal time to kill. High impact autos' optimal time to kill requires 7 headshots and 1 body shot, which is 88% precision accuracy. Mid-impact autos kill in 10 headshots, which requires 100% precision accuracy. And low-impact autos kill in 13 headshots and 1 body shot, which is 94% precision accuracy. Now on the flip side, mid-impact hand cannons only need to have 33% precision accuracy in order to achieve their optimal time to kill, having a great deal of wiggle room. Furthermore, you get 3 chances at landing that headshot in order to obtain the optimal time to kill. It's one of the only weapons in the game you can actually backload your precision damage and still get an optimal time to kill. With auto rifles, if you miss any headshots up front, you've immediately increased your time to kill. You need to be deadly precise in order to kill opponents slower than weapons with laxer precision requirements. It's really ironic to me that hand cannons are touted as precision marksman's weapons when you can be so loose with precision accuracy and still obtain their optimal time to kill. Now I understand you are punished more for missing 1 bullet with a hand cannon than you are for missing 1 bullet with an auto rifle, but I have a counter argument for that. Did you see that auto rifle that just popped up on the screen? I'll do it again. That auto rifle was on screen for 10 frames, and in that time, you can miss 3 bullets from high impact auto rifles, 4 bullets from mid-impact auto rifles, and 5 bullets from low-impact auto rifles, increasing their times to kill by 38%, 40%, and 36% respectively. This increased time to kill is comparable to missing 1 hand cannon shot, and it isn't that unrealistic to miss 10 frames of damage over the course of an entire gunfight. So while hand cannon users are punished more for missing 1 bullet versus 1 auto rifle round, the notion that auto rifles are vastly more forgiving just isn't the case. The second problem with auto rifles is that you have to commit to an engagement in order to secure a kill. Hand cannons, and to a lesser extent pulse rifles, can peek in and out of cover in order to take pot shots at you while keeping their exposure to potential threats to a minimum. With auto rifles, you need to expose yourself for extended periods of time because their damage is a steady stream, not a quick burst. This makes you more vulnerable to enemy fire. Auto rifles are high-risk, high-reward weapons, only without the reward portion. It's like playing Russian roulette with a bullet in every chamber. And yes, I get the irony of using a hand cannon in an analogy to describe the shittiness of auto rifles. That was intentional! That's the joke! The final nail in the auto rifle's coffin is their complete lack of range. If you compare pulse rifles to auto rifles, they both seem to be in the same realm in terms of both time to kill, as well as the strict precision accuracy requirements. However, pulse rifles suffer from damage drop-off considerably less than their auto counterparts. This not only increases auto rifles' time to kill, which is already not that impressive, but it also reduces sticky aim, making landing the necessary precision shots at range considerably more difficult. Now there's nothing wrong with auto rifles losing to pulses and hand cannons at longer medium ranges. Those weapons are supposed to thrive at those ranges. The problem is that auto rifles aren't good enough at medium short range to be this bad at medium long range. The way Destiny works mechanically, instead of using an auto rifle, you're better off pushing in using cover and your class's movement abilities to close the gap and cut your opponent down with a shotgun, which many people who run hand cannons and pulse rifles do. This kills the auto rifle.
What you say? That you only meant well, 'cause you did. What you say? That it's all for the best, 'cause it is.
Seriously, it completely undermines the weapon class and makes them useless. Landing 100% accurate headshots on someone elusively closing the gap is incredibly difficult. Furthermore, you're not even rewarded for landing the precision shots because the times to kill are so mediocre that you just end up eating a Matador 64 sandwich. And it's an incredibly salty fucking sandwich. So what do we do to make auto rifles worth using? Increase damage, reduce range. By increasing damage, this makes auto rifles dominant at medium close range, their supposed designed optimal range, and able to compete with shotguns. This reduces the strict precision accuracy requirement to reach a decent time to kill, making gunning down slippery shotgun fellows more consistent. Of course, if you increase their damage, this makes them more effective at range because they'll suffer less from damage drop-off. So you pull in their range stat a little bit so they don't overperform at longer ranges. This allows hand cannons and pulse rifles to maintain their dominance at medium long range, while allowing auto rifles to outperform them at medium close range. Now it's time once again for everyone's favorite segment, WOW! A bunch of numbers. The current auto rifle stats are on the left, and on the right are my proposed changes. High and mid-impact auto rifles see a 15% increase in damage, and low-impact autos see a 7% increase in damage. This lowers all of their times to kill by 1 bullet and slightly reduces the precision accuracy requirement in order to achieve optimal time to kill. These changes allow auto rifles to win in close quarters against pulse rifles and hand cannons, as well as adequately deal with the shotgun rushdown. Now I know some of these numbers seem scary compared to the already very good meta weapons we currently have, but you have to take some things into consideration. Specifically, everything I already mentioned. These optimal times to kill are dependent on you landing 86 to 88% precision shots as well as being inside their new decreased optimal range, which is the lowest of all the primary weapon classes. If you are outside their optimal range, they will perform similarly to how they do now, which is immensely mediocre. Furthermore, you need to commit to the engagement, putting yourself into high-risk situations in order to effectively get kills. This risk is compounded when you take into consideration just how dominant shotguns can be at these ranges. There needs to be adequate reward for adequate risk, and melting people and getting kills is the reward for proper map positioning and shotgun baiting. Also take into consideration the last word, which has a time to kill of between 0.53 seconds to 0.8 seconds. How scary can my auto rifle numbers be when you compare them to the Dueling King? Now I intend to discuss other underutilized weapons and how to bring them into the meta, so if you think my auto rifle buffs are too much and will leave other weapons in the dust, fear not! I intend to cover these in future videos, the end goal being to bring as many weapons as possible into the meta. Variety is the spice of life. It's also a good stage name for a black stripper. Anyways, that's how I feel about the current state of auto rifles and how to remedy the situation. I hope you enjoyed my stupid rambling about numbers and my bitterness about the current YouTube landscape. I'll see you guys in my next video. Will these crazy changes make scout rifles good? Holy fucking, this is such a fucking mess. How am I gonna clean this up? Look at the bread. Look at the salt. Look, get back in here. Get in there, go in there, please. Please go back in the container. My wife should better not come home soon. Ow, it's burning my cut. Fuck my shit. Fuck!